I am a software developer, managing software developers in California. I wanted to get out of kind of the day-to-day grind of managing and being, having a boss and reporting to people. A lot of stuff is just outside of my control from a day-to-day point of view, and I wanted to own a small business and enjoy the kind of managing all different aspects of that business. And so I've been looking around. Really for 2 years, I've been watching website closers and on the email distribution list. And let's see. So I think we were introduced through our SBA lender. He mentioned you guys were really knowledgeable and knew what you're doing. And so that's when I think he introduced us and we started talking. And then we went through a bunch of deals that were currently available. And none of them really caught my eye, but you guys were super persistent about the Boba business. And so I just got to thinking about it and then doing more serious investigation. And then we went into the LOI, and you guys were great as far as recommending how to do due diligence and whether to pay for it or do it myself. And I ended up doing it myself, which was a huge benefit because then I feel like I completely dug into the business and understood all the different aspects where the money was coming from and where it was going out before taking over the business. Because once I took over the business, there was just such a steep learning curve of stuff I didn't even know from the due diligence piece of it. If I hadn't had that knowledge just going into it, then I think I would really have been lost. So the seller is Australian, so the business was registered in Australia. That was a little tricky, but not as tricky as I had thought it was going to be. Let's see, some of the complications were that the time zone was quite different, so he's like plus 17 hours. From going from the LOI to the closing date was slower and more aggravating because of time zone difference. I wasn't really sure if the seller was like purposely delaying the closing so that he could continue to receive revenue without really running the business, because he had pretty much just stopped running the business. When I did raise concerns, you guys pulled through and seemed to be able to bend the seller into the direction of what was needed from my point of view. So I appreciate that. I'll be waiting for the call for the next awesome deal, kind of similar to this one. I think like you guys tell me there seems to be two ways to get good deals. One is to be the first person you call, like when a good acquisition comes along, and you guys have a large client list and you have identified what your clients are looking for and you see a good deal and then you call immediately. And the other one would be one of these where the deal was kind of falling through a couple of times and now it's cheap to where it actually is a good deal, because I don't think this one started out as a good deal. But it ended up because you guys saw potential and the right price for it. So it ended up being a great match. So that's what I'm thinking, and yes, I want to get this one going fully optimized and then start thinking about a second brand. It was fun. I mean, like I said, I've been looking for 2 years and finally it was just a combination of finding you guys. We had the initial call and then we're probably in LOI like 2 weeks later.